chaos, only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. Been waiting for this for a while. The Death Guard Codex was leaked. Everybody's heard about it. Everybody, I'm sure, has read about it, practiced it, all that stuff. We are a little bit late to the table, but this year is going to be the year of the chaos, and they are definitely not pulling their punches. We have Death Guard, T-Sons, and the World Eaters all getting released around the same time. Emperor's Children just got released. Like, there is so much chaos going on. It is crazy. This video is going to be all about the whole codex. We're going to do a two-part video. The first part is going to be all about the stratagems, the detachments, all that stuff, and then the second part of the video is going to be all the data sheets, kind of what changed, some combos, all that stuff. All these videos are going to be up on patreon.com first, so if you guys are Patreons, thank you for supporting the channel. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world last year, so now we're switching over to Death Guard, and that's going to be our goal moving forward. We're going to kind of try and get one new army every single year. Grey Knights was the first year, Chaos Space Marines was last year, and then this year we're going to try and go for Death Guard. There's a lot of good Death Guard players in the world, so it's going to be really hard to compete with them, but we've been playing Death Guard since they were like Chaos, all the way back in the day. So we love our Death Guard. We got the new image to my left here, your guys right, but this image is fucking fire. I love how it turned out. So we're gonna go over, like I said, a two-part series. This is gonna go all over kind of like the rundown of the strats and everything, and then we'll go into more of the tactics. If you guys do want coaching for either Death Guard or any of the other armies that we play, we do Death Guard coaching, but coaching in general for our Patreons. We're gonna get into our sponsors real quick, and then we'll be back into the video right now. All right, guys, if you want to support the channel, head over to the merch store. The description below has the link. All these shirts are up for sale. These legit red, white, and blue shirts look fire at a GT. They're super comfortable, super non-shrinkage. It's just a really, really nice shirt. Spent a lot of time picking out the right shirt. All these designs are up for sale. All the stickers as well. And if you guys need some models, we got the Cypher, which is legit. We got the Tech Marine with Grey Knight bits. We have the Phobos Librarian, the Phobos Captain, the Kaldis Assassin should be in every list, and old school Codiez. We have the widgets, 6-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch, 2-inch, half-inch. We have our objective markers, which are great for sticky objectives, any marking for oath, anything like that, and all of the stickers. So hit me up on Discord, DM, that's how you get a hold of these, and the merch tab below for the shirts. Now back to the video. All right, guys, so basically what has changed is every detachment, including the Flyblown host, which I was super stoked for. A little secret, we kind of knew most of this before it got released. I did not want to be the one to release it, unlike some other people, so I want to make sure that when we knew that Flyblown was obviously getting all the detachments, it was kind of common sense, but once you get to see it live, like I didn't have the codex, I kind of like just heard rumors. Once you get to see it live, you're like, holy shit, this could actually be a thing. So I think Flybone honestly is one of my favorite attachments. That isn't in this thing, but I think Flybone needs its own video because it is one of the best attachments. I think it's top 3 of the attachments that we have in this codex, and this codex is very, very good. It's not going to be, I mean, I think T-Sons is going to be probably the #1 if you guys are T-Sons players, but with this codex, it is very, very, very strong. So let's get into it. They took away the -1 ballistic skill, weapon skill, all that stuff, which was kind of busted, honestly. Like being able to -1 ballistic skill and then add -1 to hit on top of that, stacking the -2 to hit was really, really good. So I understand why they took it away. They just made it a flat -1 to hit. That's it. If you have any other bonuses on top of that, like stealth or smoke or anything like that, it does stack, but you can't ever go +1 or more than -1. So if you have like a -2 to hit and they have +1, it's still -1 to hit. So that's kind of like a way to look at it, but always -1 to hit if you are picking that. Still 369 for the auras. This one is worse in the save characteristic of models by 1. So basically their 3-up save goes to a 4-up save before you add the AP modifiers. So it kind of worsens that as well. So definitely good. And if you go to like a 3-up save and then they get cover, they can't go past the 3-up save, which could be something good to look out for. This would be good for custodies, you know, stuff like that. I have 2-up saves all over the place, but most of the time we're probably gonna be doing the -1 to hit. There's some situations where the extra AP would be good for some Marines, but honestly, having Marines hit on 4s and 5s is really good. Having armies that hit on 4s go to 5s is just dirty. We did the guard test the other day, which was just dumb. And then finally, the last one, this could be good in that 1 detachment, which we'll go over. Worse in the move, leadership, objective control by 1. The sad part is they did add the minimum of 1. If you do have a -1 OC thing in the game, you can go down to 0. That's in the core rules. So in this, they made it a minimum of 1. So you can't go down to 0 with this specific rule. So I'm not sure if the Rodicus has the -1 to. We'll check. We'll check that. But that could be maybe a good combo. Pact of Decay when mustering your army. So you picked one of these. So this is where the Flyblown Host gets it, because now the Flyblown Host gets any one of these instead of just that. Also, stacking that on top is they still also get the -1 toughness. So that's still there. So we still have the toughness, and we still have one of these 3 things, and you get to pick it before the game. So then the first detachment we're going to go over just in order. Actually, our buddy Craig made this PDF. It's just everything in one, so it makes things a lot easier. Saved it to the phone. So this one, Virulent Vectorium. Virulent Vectorium. So this is the one where if you control... All right, so this is the main detachment where if you control objective marker, you get sticky. And the objective markers actually gain the Death Guard auras, which is really, really cool. There's a lot of auras in this codex that you get to target an objective or target a unit, and then that unit becomes there's a lot of contagion spreading in this book compared to other books. So you have a lot of ways to get contagion from very far away, which is cool. So in this one, it's you know, null and void, or it's a really good combo with this one. So Demon Weapon of Nurgle. Each time a bearer makes a melee attack, unmodified hit roll is a 5. So this is just the bearer, not the bearer's unit. So this could be good for a Demon Prince or somebody big. A lot of the lethal hits, like almost everything in the army has lethal hits, so giving them a 5-up lethal hit is going to be really good. Putting this on a Lord of Contagion, getting his 6 attacks or 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 9, 2, 3 with lethal hits. That's going to be pretty good. The Demon Prince has 7 attacks, I think, with lethal, hitting on 2s, so critting on 5 is going to be anything with 3 damage. Lethal 5 is going to be really good. And this is just attack roll. So each time the bearer makes a melee attack and unmodified hit roll. Yeah, so if it was wound roll on a 5, then the dev wound from the Lord of Poxes would be really, really good. But it's just on the hit. So the Furnace is... Death Guard model only, add 1 to the strength and attack characteristic of bearer's melee weapons. If the bearer's melee weapons, it has devastating wounds. And they have devastating wounds. So this is also really, really good. So you have crit on 5s. And you can do add 1 to the strength. So strength 10 on your Lord of Contagion. And an extra attack, so 6 attacks. And the bearer's melee weapons have devastating wounds. So you can put this on the Demon Prince as well. Really any of the characters, but... those 2 are still going to be the really best ones. So 8 attacks for your Demon Prince, strength 9 now. So 9, 2, 3 dev. Not bad. Arch Contaminator, Death Guard model only while the bearer's unit is within range of objective marker you control. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes an attack, you can reroll the wound roll. That's really fucking good. So this actually used to be, I think, in the last codex. This was really, really good. Arch Contaminator, I definitely had this on every single model. So Death Guard model only while the bearer's unit is within range of objective marker you control. So that's every phase. So if you walk onto it in the movement phase, you then control it in the shooting phase. Each time model bearer's unit makes an attack, you can reroll the wound roll. That is really, really, really good. So obviously putting that on the Lord of Poxes or anything that's leading a unit with Plague Marines, I think that's really the only... I mean, you have Blight Lord Terminators now. They have 2 damage attacks, so this could go on. So this is bearer's unit makes an attack. So this is shooting and man, this is fucking nuts, dude. I didn't read this full thing like before I did this video, so this is like kind of live reaction of going through this. But guys, putting the Arch Contaminator on got any 10-man Plague Marine unit, any 10-man Blight Lord unit, any 6-man Death Shroud unit, you're just rerolling full wounds when you're on objective. That is nuts. That's insane. So that's really good. It's probably gonna be, so you have these top 3 which are already really good, and this one has a Field of Bane. So all 4 of these are really good. Yeah, you can basically combo this. So each time a bear so that's just the bear. So if this was like the unit, but you could put the Bilious Putrefier in the unit to crit on 5s already, and then you get full rerolls to wound on top of that. If you're getting out of a Rhino, the Rhino shoots at you in the shooting phase, you get full rerolls to wound. So this could probably be best on a 10-man Blight Lord Terminator unit. And then this, so you have a toughness 12 Demon Prince with a 5-up Feel No Pain, with Lone Op, with a free strat. Oh my god, this is all right. So already this is like number top 3 of the detachments. The core detachment is the top 3 of the detachments. All right, so let's go over it. Any phase, 1 Death Guard vehicle or Death Guard monster. For the deadly, so this is an auto explode. Do not roll a 6, you just auto explode. So if you have any vehicles, like vehicles running up, I don't know, most of our vehicles D3 damage, but obviously if Morty dies, Morty can just auto explode for D6 damage, everybody within the range. So that's cool, just an auto explode. And then you have, and actually some of our, I think our Flamer dude explodes. I don't know if Spawn explode, probably not. Disgustingly resilient. So in the shooting phase, they added this. It's not just melee, but 2 CP. And what's cool is like all of these 2 CPs, just imagine them being 1 CP because of the Demon Prince. I think Demon Prince is going to be in every single list, honestly. But the Demon Prince making this a 1 CP strat in the shooting or fight phase, Morty's going to be a lot more survivable. This is going to be like an auto Morty detachment. But shooting or fight phase, just after an enemy unit selected as targets, 1 Death Guard unit from your army, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic. So any 2 damage weapons coming into you, it's going to be 1 damage. It's going to be very good. Until the end of phase, each time it's allocated, I'm going to subtract 1 from the damage roll. So this used to be a thing, like, can you go down to 0 damage? Probably not. They probably made a minimum of 1 damage. I think that's in the core rules now. Plague Surge. So in your command phase, 1 Death Guard Warlord that is on the battlefield, so another 2 CP until the start of your next command phase, add 3 to contagion. So basically if your Death Shroud are coming down within 6, you can then add 3 on turn 2, you can add 3, then get a 9-inch contagion. So that way whatever they're coming down is going to be within contagion range, but you can't come down within 6 unless they're in contagion range anyway. So it's going to be easier to get shit in contagion range. So if you're coming outside 9, right, for Deep Strike, and you have a contagion range on turn 3, now you're 9 to 12-inch contagion range. So this is going to be situational. It could be really good with shooting. The Death Shroud unit is going to be really good because then you can come down outside 6 and make it a 9-inch aura. So everything within 9 could be contagion. Yeah, that's going to be situational. But Leech Spore. Your command phase, 1 Death Guard model. Death Guard model from your army lost 1 or more wounds. This one's pretty cool. So select 1 enemy unit within 3 inches of your model. So thinking Morty or Demon Prince. Roll a number of d6 equal to the number of wounds your model has lost. For each 5+, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound to a maximum of 6. So let's say your Demon Prince is down to 3. You have 10 wounds, you're rolling then 7 dice for 1 CP in your command phase. So you roll 7 dice for each one that he took. And on a 5+, let's say you get 3 or 4 back, then you're healing back up to 6 to 7 wounds. Pretty good. Morty, same thing. Like if you're at 16 and you go down to 5, you're rolling 11 dice and anything. So it's almost like a tank shock. Then 11 back, you get it back. So another way to heal Morty in this attachment is fire to a max of lost 6 wounds. So they take 1 mortal wound and you gain 1 mortal wound. That's really cool. It's only 1 CP. And then start of your shooting phase, 1 Death Guard character units. So then you can talk about the Blight Lords. Visible until the end of phase. Each time Death Guard unit from your army is selected unit a targeted range attack, you can roll a dice to determine how many number of weapon equipped on it. All right, so blast weapons. What? Oh, Death Shroud. Okay, so Death Shroud unit until the end of phase. Each time a Death Guard unit from your army selects that enemy unit as a target of a range attack, you can reroll the dice to determine how many attacks a weapon equipped by the model the unit makes. So I guess that's Blast and the Flamers. So any Flamers coming down, it's what, 6, 7 Flamer shots if you have a 6-man. So 7 Flamer shots, you're going to reroll any 1s and 2s into probably 3s to 6s, right? So let's say an average of 4 each. So you go from like 3 times 7, 21 potentially, to 21 plus attacks going into a unit. That's not bad. Situation. I mean, strength 3, anti-infantry 4 plus flamer is not going to be my go-to. But if you have the -1 to their armor save, AP1 is not really a joke. So and then finally, last one we got for Creeping Blight, your shooting phase. 1 Death Guard infantry unit from your army that is not selected to shoot this phase until the end of the phase makes a range attack, targets an effect, and you reroll the hit roll and reroll the wound roll. Holy shit! So you already have an enhancement that just gives it to you when you're on an objective. To melee or shooting and melee. This one is only the shooting phase, but you can combo this, so you can do full rerolls to the attacks to like see how many attacks you have, and then you can go full rerolls to hit and wound. Wow. From you is not selected to shoot foes. Makes a ranged attack targeting an affected unit, which if you're coming down within 6 of a blight or death shroud, you're going to be in the affected already. Reroll the hit roll and reroll the wound roll. So again, Blight Lord's going to be really good with this. I mean, Plague Marines as well. Like Plague Marines have so many guns in their army as well. And that's infantry, character unit. Yeah, so not a ton of tanks in this detachment. Yeah, so Death Guard model. So this could actually be a tank healing. So you can heal a tank back. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's heal tank. Why not? All right, so that's the one. Let's rank these. So 10 being the best, 1 being like absolute shit. I would say starting off without seeing any of the other ones, this is probably going to be an 8. I'm gonna rank this one as an 8. So let's go over to Mortarian's Hammer. This one, strike force of 2. So this one, at the start of the battle round, select a number of enemy units more than 12 inches away from every model from your army that is on the battlefield. Until the end of the battle round, those enemy units are afflicted. Okay, so there you go. And then maximum number of units can be depending on... Okay, so you can pick 2 units... 12. So if they're close to you, it's not going to work. But if you can pick units that are far away, you have or bombardments, going, you're gonna be able to pick 2 that are just afflicted, which are going to be the -1 to their save, -1 to hit. So you can like basically put it on a tank that you don't want them to hit you that easily back, that are just kind of outside 12 inches. So that's gonna be pretty cool. You can like affect other people's tanks from far away. And then Eye of Affliction. Death Guard model ranged weapons equipped by models of bearer's unit have the ignore cover ability. So you can be putting that on the Blight Lords. I keep saying Blight Lords. I think Blight Lords going to be good. The Biomall Blights, Malignant Playcaster. At the start of your shooting phase, add 12 to the range. The 24-inch flamer, -2 to their move from all the way across the table. That is kind of nuts. So you can use this guy. You can't do a Lord of Poxes in the unit because they're not 2 different characters that can join that unit. So you can put this with like a plague surgeon. So if the plague surgeon wants to... Yeah, this isn't the one that brings them back. No, so the plague surgeon, if you stick out, it's just so you can shoot something from 24 inches away and they shoot you back, you're going to be able to want to make a Plague Marine back. Yeah, because this doesn't add to the weapon. Plague Bearer's Wild Wind. Yeah, I'm not sure how this works in a Rhino. Like, you might be able to shoot 24 inches, but you don't get the -2 to the move, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. So I definitely keep them out and shoot from afar. All right, and then Death Guard model. Once per battle round, you can target the bearer's unit with Fire Overwatch Adjunct for 0 CP. That's cool. So you put that in like 10-man Blight Lord unit. You put that in probably the Lord of Virulence, which gets full rerolls to wound. You put a bunch of flamers in the unit, and they can just fire Overwatch every single turn. Or you do the Malignant Plaguecaster, and then you add what else can you add that's good for that unit? Really just the Bilious Putrefier, and put this on it. So the Bilious Putrefier, this Flamer. Shit, dude. You can shoot the Flamer 24 inches away for free every turn, and then the -2 to move, maybe? Yeah, before you move, you target them with the Overwatch, and then they're -2 to that move. That's pretty cool. That's a good combo. And then Lord of Virulence only while the bearer is within 3 inches of one or more friendly Death Guard vehicle units. Bearer's Lone Op ability. Okay, so the Lord of Virulence gains the Lone Op, and each time one of those vehicle units makes a range attack, visible to bearer, reroll a wound roll of 1. Okay, so basically he targets something. He can do his like 30-inch range. If you have blast, you get full rerolls to wound or to hit against it, and then each time one of those vehicles, so it's 3 inches of one or more friendly. So if all the vehicles are within 3 inches of this guy, so he like turns himself into a Tech Marine. Reroll wound roll of 1. So Bombardment's going to be pretty cool with this detachment, like the Playburst Crawlers. This guy's going to be pretty cool. That one, maybe. And this one is situational. So, but that one's pretty cool. That's going to be like sitting in the middle of like 3 Predators or 3 Playburst Crawlers, stuff like that. So let's go over to Blighted Land. Now, with Morty being able to have a tank shoot back for free, that's going to be cool. So he can shoot back for free, and then you can have like a free Overwatch from 24 inches away. Blighted Land. End of your movement phase, 1 Death Guard vehicle from your army. Select 1 terrain feature within 24 inches and visible to your unit. Until the start of your next turn, enemies' units are afflicted while within 3 inches of the terrain feature. While they are within, so basically, like, holy shit, you just pick the center terrain feature and just like everything within 3 inches of that is afflicted. That is kind of bonkers. That's 2 CP, so that's why it's expensive. So 2 CP, potentially 1 CP with the Demon Prince. If you bring the Demon Prince, everything basically you want to shoot at is going to be afflicted. So you're going to get like AP2, essentially Playburst Crawlers, just shooting everybody. Nice. Yeah, so you're gonna be able to do that, and then the Death Drought can come down within 6 because they're afflicted now. Cool. Relentless Grind. Your movement phase or charge phase, 1 Death Guard vehicle unit from your army that is not selected to move or charge until the end of phase. You make some. Okay, so you can go through terrain features for 1. That is just a vehicle, so not a monster, so it doesn't work on Morty, but maybe Defiler, or Playburst Crawler, just charging through a wall to just get some line of sight shots off. So your shooting phase, 1 Death Guard unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase until the end of the phase. Each time model in the unit makes an attack, targets are visible, excluding aircraft from your opponent's deployment zone. You can reroll the hit roll. So while they're within your opponent's deployment zone, so it doesn't have to be wholly within, it just says visible enemy unit within. So if you have like a unit and 1 guy is tagging in the deployment zone, you get full rerolls to hit against that unit, and it's shooting phase of any unit that you have. So that's pretty good. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack. Okay, not bad. That's actually pretty good. And again, Playburst Crawlers, you're gonna get full rerolls to hit with that Playburst Crawler. And you can make it afflicted, so they're either -1 to their save, or they're -1 to hit next turn, or they're -1 OC, leadership. Yeah, I don't know. I think probably this detachment might benefit from the -1 AP 1. I think the best. So your shooting phase, 1 Death Guard vehicle unit from your army that's next to shoot. Until the end of the phase, weapons have the assault, so you can get to advance and shoot one of your tanks. Does that benefit anything? I mean, maybe. We don't have like crazy guns, Predator, maybe? Predator advancing and just shooting all of his guns. Speed 10. Yeah, maybe. Defiler. Nah, Defiler sucks. So Stinger Storm, your opponent's command phase. 1 Death Guard vehicle unit from your armies. Select 1 objective marker visible to 1 or more models in your unit. Each afflicted enemy unit within range of that objective marker must take a battle shock test. Enemy units affected by this stratagem do not need. Okay, so basically how this works is if you're near an objective, on an objective, your opponent's command phase. So basically, like if you have a tank or something that is like looking at an objective and they're afflicted already, like you can do the -1 OC or whatever if you wanted to, or -1 leadership and OC. That could be a good thing as well. But with this, you basically like spend 1 CP and just force your opponent to do a battle shock test while they're on the objective. So you can force them to do one, right, just to try and steal primary from them, which actually could help. This is actually pretty cool. So like they're not gonna be able to do 2. Like if they're below half strength, or let's say they're if they already have to take a battle shock test, you might not need to do this. But if you think that they're going to do like the free strat to ignore it or auto pass it, you could probably do this one instead to force them to do the battle shock test. I don't know how that goes, if they have to do it first or you do it first. I don't know. But then the last one, Stinking Mire, start of your opponent's charge phase. -2 -2 until the end of phase. Each time an enemy unit selects your target, subtract 2 from the charge roll. So they're gonna get even, oh god, dude, so that means -2 to that, and then -2 to your your Malignant Plaguecaster. So you're like -4 to move and charges for that unit. That's gonna be insane. So Plaguecaster is just all over the place. 1 Lord of Virulence, just kind of targeting everything, and then this one, like the free Overwatch. I think these 3 would be the best ones. These 2 potentially in 1 unit, and saving this 1 CP. It's just Death Guard vehicle, so it's not going to be Morty or anything. But Morty has the fucking the move anyway, so you're gonna have that move in your pocket. You're gonna have the -2 movement there. You're gonna be able to do an Overwatch for the -2 move and then -2 charge. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. So that's your vehicle detachment, obviously. Yeah, that's gonna be like, if you love tanks, this is gonna be your list right there. Champions of Contagion. Someone told me about this one, but this one is probably top 3 as well. I didn't rank the last one, sorry guys. So the main one was an 8. This one I would say is probably a 6. Yeah, this one's probably going to be a 6 for me. I never ran the full tanks, or Boric Corey runs them all the time, so this could be up his alley. But I would say this is like a 6-ish in terms of like competitiveness. Yeah, this is mainly just like the tank build, so I would say this is like a 6 to a 7 for this one. Then we have the Champions of Contagion. So at the start of the battle round, you can select 1 plague listed in Plague Nurgle's Gift until the end of the battle that your chosen plague instead of your previous chosen plague. So every battle, at the start of the battle round, you can select 1 of the plague listed in the until the end of the battle. That is your chosen plague instead of any previous chosen plague. Okay, so you can switch it, I guess, once per game. At the start of the battle round. Oh, so maybe you can just keep switching it. So at the start of battle round, you can just switch. At the start of the next battle round, you can switch again. At the start of the next battle round, you can switch again. And you just kind of keep switching it every time, depending on what you need. So if one turn you need to like fight over objectives, you can do the -1 OC and leadership and shit. If you need to like go into armor for 1 turn, you can change it to that. If you're like, all right, I really need you to not hit me this turn, you can then change it to that at the beginning of the battle round. And this is the start of the battle round, so you or your opponent's battle round. So this one is kind of like 4D chess type contagion, because you kind of like need to remember who has what, because there's a lot of the enhancements and stratagems in here that have like, this one has 3 contagions, this one has 1 contagion, this one has an extra one, this one if you shoot that one and tie that one and like you sleep with this guy, like everybody's gonna get the contagions. So Bodiless Putrefier only. Once per battle, after the character unit has fought, if one or more character models were destroyed as the result of these attacks, select 1 plague until the end of the battle. While an enemy unit is afflicted, that enemy unit afflicted, select a plague in addition. So basically, your Bodiless Putrefier unit, like your Plague Marines, if they kill a unit, you get 1 automatically guaranteed. So let's say you pick, like, let's say you kill a unit, you have the -1 to hit up, and you kill a unit, you can pick the -1 leadership OC for the rest of the game. That unit has both. Then in the next battle round, you can pick like the -1 AP. So now they have -1 AP and -1 OC in leadership and all that stuff forever. So that's pretty cool. That one is definitely good. But you have to go after a character unit. So you have to make sure that you're killing something. And when they kill something, I think this is the guy that has the 6 obsec once they kill a unit, so that's nuts. Malignant Plaguecaster. One enemy unit is enfeebled, which is the -2 to the movement shot. Bears that unit is also afflicted. So basically, if you're shooting somebody 12 inches away, they then are also afflicted as well, which is not huge because they're probably going to get within 9 inches of you, 6 to 9 inches. So this one's like, maybe I don't think this one's like huge. Plague Surgeon, this one's cool. So I just want the Plague Surgeon, such a cool model. I want him to be really fucking good. If just the Plague Surgeon just had D3 +1 with this detachment, or D3 whatever, like he would be probably in every single list. Now this one, it's like, all right, I definitely want to bring him just to test this out, but bringing back D3 2 OBSEC Plague Marines is kind of really good. And that's the enhancement. Bring back D3 guys instead of just 1. Lord of Poxes, such a cool model. In the declared battle formations step, select 1 plague until the end of the battle. While an enemy unit is within the contagion range of the bearer, that enemy unit is afflicted by the plague in addition to any other. So again, this and this, you're going to be able to get multiple plagues out. You could actually put this Lord of Poxes and the Bodiless Putrefier in the same unit, so that way this Plague Marine unit has all 3 plagues. Because you're going to pick, like, he could have the -1 leadership, OBSEC, whatever, and then you can, for the battle round, get the -1 to hit, and then if you kill something, you get the -1 AP. So just that unit is just insane. But you're probably going to want to put the Lord of Poxes with, I mean, you can put that with the Plague Surgeon, just so you're kind of like continuously always having that plague up, and it's really hard to kill. This one, you have to kill a character. So if they have like 1 character in the list, it's going to be really hard to get to. If they have like really hard tank characters in the list, it's going to be really hard to get to. So I would rather choose the Lord of Poxes one, just automatically getting it, and bringing my Needle of Nurgle. That would be my combo. And then you can probably skip these 2, honestly. But I mean, if this is like 10 points, it's not really worth, or it's worth just to throw 10 points on the Bodiless Putrefier, because you're definitely going to have one in this detachment. So Blessings of the Filth. When you're shooting phase or the fight phase, 1 Death Guard attached unit. So just shoot it until the end of phase. Each time on the unit makes an unmodified hit roll of it. Okay, so 1 CP without a Bodiless Putrefier is going to be able to just crit on 5s for 1 CP. So now your Lord of Poxes with your Plague Surgeon is going to be able to crit on 5s. Nice. So 1 CP, just crit on 5s. That's really fucking good. Shooting or fight phase. This could also be good with the Blade Lord Terminators, right? So they all have lethal and all that stuff. So really, this is good for a lot of different stuff. But then we have your shooting or fight phase, 1 Death Guard attached unit of your army that is not selected to fight or shoot. Until the end of the phase, each time a modeling unit makes an attack that targets a unit below its starting strength, which is good. you can reroll the hit roll and reroll the wound. There's not half strength. Most of the shit is half strength, like fucking Night Lords. This is just below starting strength. So 1 wound on the unit. You then can do 2 CP strat. So it's kind of expensive, but you get full rerolls to hit and wound, which is shooting or fight phase. So this detachment is just going to murder anything it touches. Plague Marines everywhere. This might be the 40 to 50 Plague Marine detachment. Maybe with Morty. Might not need Morty, but there's going to be a lot of characters in this detachment. Your opponent's shooting phase or fight phase, just after enemy unit selected targets. 1 death guard attached unit from your army that's selected of a target of 1 or more of attacking units. So the unit phase, add 2 to the toughness characteristic of models in that unit. Holy shit. Now your Plague Marines are T8. Your Terminators are T9. 1 CP in the shooting or fight phase. So it's like, all right, anything strength 4, really, going into you, you're going to wound you on 6s. God, that's so good. Yeah, 1 CP just minus or +2 toughness. Damn. Oh, your strength 9 meltas. Yeah, wound me on 4s. All right, cool. Yeah, that's 1 CP. So Rabid Infusion. Start of the fight phase from an army includes 2 characters. All right, so this one's really cool. You can have a bunch of Plague Marines just kind of running around with 2 characters in it. So you can basically have 3 Ballast Putrefiers, so that your whole army crits on 5s. You can have a Plague Surgeon in 1. You can have Lord of Poxes in 2 more, so they can't be shot outside of 18. And everything's going to be able to just crit on 5s. Everything's going to be able to get fight first. God, this is so good. Damn. All right, so Plague Marines, Rhinos, Morty, and Demon Prince. That's your list. Characters: Plague Marines, Morty, Demon Prince. How many Plague Marines can you fit in any list? That is the question, guys. Mobile Vector. This one's I don't understand. I don't understand this one. This one's if you have a solo character that happens to be by himself and not die, he can then join another unit in your movement phase just before the reinforcement step. So like maybe if Typhus is solo and you bring this is so situational. I always see these sometimes in other armies. I'm like, when the fuck would this actually happen? Somebody let me know in the comments. Did this actually ever happen to you? I think it worked for Custodes at one point. Like, did you ever get to join another unit that was kind of just sitting there? This could be a good combo or something. Let me know if I'm missing anything in this, but you get to then just join a unit somewhere else. It has to be a legal unit and can't have like over 2 characters, stuff like that. Death's Head. So you're shooting phase 1 Ballast Putrefier unit from your army that is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units is selected to shoot or fight. Until the select 1 enemy unit, excluding vehicles that are within 8 inches of visible to the unit until the start of your next turn. That unit is affected by all the plagues. Nice. So it's like an 8-inch grenade that you just like. Here's a gift of just plagues. Death Heads. That's why it's called Death Heads. So you're gonna have like probably 1 to 3 Ballast Putrefiers in your army. So you're gonna have like 3 units that can do this. And again, it's in your shooting phase, so it's gonna be within 8 inches. I mean, it could be situational, but most of the time they're gonna be in contagion range anyway. But it could be good early on in the game because you're only contagion 6. So if you wanted to like get that extra 2 inches, yeah. Excluding vehicles till the start of your next turn. But you're just getting just 1 CP, you just get all 3 plagues. So 1 CP, you don't have to do anything special, just like boom, 1 CP, that unit is now fucked. Seems pretty good. All right, so that's the detachment, guys. I think this is tied with the first one. First one just having so much. This is going to be like another 8.5 if you love the Plague Marines, which I love the Plague Marines. So this is going to be up there. This is going to be top 3 right here. So I really, really like this detachment. This is going to be competitive. This one I actually just did a 40k Dirtbag list of the day today, so if you guys want to check that out, I posted it up on the channel. But this is the Tallyband Summoners. I took a little bit of reading this one today, but it's really cool if you want to mix those demons. I didn't know that demons were going away, honestly. I thought demons were just going to be like, add-ons, but now you can only bring demons in the Death Guard Codex with this detachment. So I actually made a list, really competitive list, so go check that out. But this one has Wild Plague Legion unit from your armies within 7 inches, so it's kind of like the Talons detachment for Custodes. Like, you kind of have to pair with the sisters, so that way they're good. But 7 inches of another Death Guard unit, so pretty easy to stay within 7 inches. They then gain the Nurgle's Gift. So they get the contagion ranges, 3, 6, 9, so you can kind of extend your contagion super far away from your units. And then while a Death Guard unit is within 7 inches, they gain... Oh, you add 3 to the contagion range. So Plague Legion units from your army add 3 to the Death Guard unit's contagion range. So that's going to be really good for the contagion range as well. So it's going to be a really good combo. If you have your Death Guard out front, it's going to be fucking extra 3 inches, so you're going to go 6, 9, 12, right? And then if you're opposite, they're going to then gain the 3, 6, 9 aura contagion range with the -1 toughness or the -1 to hit. Like, it's going to be a really good combo. So like, your demons now are going to hit harder because they can do the AP one as well. So if you just do the AP strat, they're going to hit really fucking hard with their lethals and all that stuff. So it's going to be good. And now with this, you can have up to 1,000 points of your demons added to it. And I think the demons come out like the point wise. You could bring Rodicus, you could bring Great and Kleemann, you could bring 2 Plague Bearers, you could bring 1 Nurgle unit, you could bring one 6-man Nurgle unit, 1 Beast of Nurgle, you could bring 1 Plague Drones. And I think that's 970. So then everything else would just be Death Guard. But that would be like a good 970 for the dudes. So then we got Beckoning Blights. So 1 Death Guard model only. Each time Plague Legion units from your army are set up on the battlefield using the Deep Strike ability, if they are set up wholly within 12 inches of your bearer, it can be set up anywhere more than 6 inches away horizontally from other enemy units. Instead of 9, so you're gonna have a 6-inch deep strike for your Great and Kleemann, your Rodicus, your Plague Bearers, all that shit. So I'm thinking of probably putting this on a Demon Prince because he's gonna be super hard to kill. He's kind of probably gonna be up like in the middle of the fight, and then you just measure 12 inches from your Demon Prince, and then they just have to land somewhere wholly within 12 inches, but outside 6s of your opponent. So then you can kind of like land down and charge, like steal an objective with your Great and Kleemanns, and stuff like that. So you can fit like Great and Kleemann, you can fit the Plague Bearers with them. You could probably fit, honestly, 2 big Great and Kleemanns on both sides of you, maybe. Yeah, 12 inches. Yeah, you can fit like 2 Great and Kleemanns down and just charge 6 inches and just be super, super annoying. So that's going to be fun to test out. Fell Harvester. Add to the attack characteristic bearer's melee weapons. You can put this on another Demon Prince. You can put this on a Lord of Contagion. So you can go up to, what, 5, 6, 7 attacks? And then he gets back up and then hits 7 more times. So that's gonna be good. Entropic Knell. 1 Great and Kleemann, Battle Shock Step within 6 inches of the bearer. Subtract 1 from that test. So subtract 1 from the if they're below starting strength. So this one's not going to be super necessary. I think this one down here is going to be way more beneficial. I think I'm going to do a solo Malignant Plaguecaster. Oh, and there was a Malignant Plaguecaster in that list as well. So each time a Plague Legion unit within 12 inches of the bearer takes a Battle Shock test, add 1 to the test. So you can basically plop them in the middle, like Ruin, behind cover, or get in a Rhino, hop out of the Rhino, and then in the command step, if they're within 12 inches of your Demons unit, they do a Battle Shock at -1, or add 1. Wait, I have to add 1 to the test, and if the test is passed... Yeah, so if you add 1 and they pass the Battle Shock test, they heal D3. So your big guy's going to be healing D3, your Bloat Drones are going to be healing, and then if they're Battle Line, which is the Plague Bearers or the Nurglings, you're going to be able to bring back D3 lost destroyed models. So imagine just a 6-man Plague Marine Nurgle unit that gets a comeback if they get destroyed, and if they pass the Battle Shock test on a 7, I don't know if they get the +1 if they're within the geo. Like, do they add any leadership? Yeah, I don't think they get whatchamacallit. Yeah, I don't think they get. Yeah, they get the packages. Okay, so they don't get like the demons where if you're in the shadows and all that stuff, you get +1 leadership. So this is all based off of this being +1 leadership, and then they heal. So that's pretty cool. I mean, Nurgling's on a 7, Plague Bearer's on a 5 because I think their leadership's 6 with the banner, and then 5 if they get. Yeah, so you're just gonna constantly. I mean, you could probably take away a Rodicus or Galen Kleemann and just do fucking like what 2 more Plague Bearers, so you have 4 Plague Bearer units. Like that's going to be really good to test. A good thing I have 40 Plague Bearers just waiting to go. Persistent Pest. So this is the 1 Nurgling unit from your army that was just destroyed. So 6-man Nurgle unit that was just destroyed. Add a new unit of your army identical to the destroyed unit. So I think you can only do this once per game with the core rules, but still you have an additional 60 points coming back for 1 CP. That's just Nurgle, right? And then they can come down outside 6 inches of your Demon Prince and then charge with full wounds remaining. So it's gonna be such a good fucking strat to just do this twice. Yeah, this seems really, really good. They're gonna be super annoying to kill to begin with, especially with the -1 to hit aura. They're gonna be T4 if they're within the great and clean one. Yeah, it's gonna be super good. Clutching Corruption. Fight phase. 1 Death Guard unit from your army that is not selected to fight this phase until the end of phase. Each time on the unit makes an attack target's enemy unit within engagement range of 1 or more Plague Legion units. So you're gonna combo it. That Death Guard unit can reroll the hit roll. So it's gonna be really good for Plague Marines or Death Shroud. I think I had a Death Shroud unit in that army. So you can 4 rerolls to hit if they're within like a Nurgle unit or Plague Bearers or Great and Clean One or anything like that. You're going to combo them and 1 CP 4 rerolls to hit. Just the fight phase. All is Rot. So you're shooting phase 1 Plague Legion unit from your army that is within engager range. Till the end of phase, enemy units not considered being engager range. So this is cool again. So really going to combo the Nurglings in this attachment. So if the Nurglings are in range of a unit, you can still shoot that unit, except every wound that they would take, you roll on a 5+, your unit suffers a mortal wound as well. So if you like wipe out the unit, you do like 10 wounds to them, you roll 10 dice on your side, any 5 up, you take a mortal wound as well. So you're kind of like sacrificing the Nurglings to then shoot whatever's in there. So for example, I guess Mephiston, right? He's super annoying. If you can't fall back, you're going to spend 1 CP and then you can still shoot Mephiston. That's a good combo. Fleshy Avalanche. Your movement phase or your charge phase. 1 Plague Marine Legion monster unit from your army that has not been selected to move or fight or charges. All right, so the Great and Clean One and Rodicus can now move through walls. Pretty fucking cool. That's really cool. It's called Fleshy Avalanche. That's awesome. Avatars of Decay. Your shooting phase 1 Plague Legion unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, while an enemy unit is within 6 inches of unit, they are not. That enemy unit is afflicted. So that is if you're not within 7 inches of your Plague Legion, of your Death Guard, until the end of the phase, while an enemy unit is within 6 inches of your unit, that enemy unit is afflicted. So basically you could put this on a Nurgling unit that's not within 7 inches of your guys. So that way, like, in your shooting phase, you can do 1 CP, and now anything within 6 inches of your Nurglings are -1 to hit or -1 to their armor save. And that you're shooting phase 1 enemy unit is within 6 inches of your unit, that enemy unit is afflicted. And -1 toughness. Combo that as well. So Nurglings move up, do -1 toughness if you pick that for the aura, and then -1 toughness. So -1 toughness and -1 AP. Sorry, -1 of their armor save. So those Nurglings are just saying super annoying across the table. Mire Slick, your opponent's movement phase, enemy unit excluding monsters vehicles is selected to fall back. That's pretty cool. So 1 Plague Legion unit from your army that is within engagement range of 1 or many enemy units, excluding monsters or vehicles, until the end of the phase, while an enemy unit is wholly within or is within enemy engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, selected to fall back, you must take a leadership test. If the test is failed, the unit must remain stationary as well. So That can combo really good with the right here. Subtracting 1 from the test, so a great and clean one. And it's just a, let's take a leadership test. So it's not a battle shock. Starting strength must take a battle shock test. Yeah, so this one doesn't stack. And we don't really have anything that is, oh, Plague Marines. Plague Marines have -1 leadership thing. I think Death Shroud as well. So that's going to be really good. The Death Shroud -1 leadership thing that they have, the icon, can spend 1 CP if they're within 6, and then a Plague Legion if they're tied up with Nurglings or a Great and Clean one. That'll help with that test. So then on a 6, on a 7 they would fail. No, on a 7 they pass. On a 6 they would fail. So that one's situational, but it could help. So I like this detachment, guys. I think this is a solid detachment if you like the demons. So this is going to be like a 6.5, sorry, 7.58. Yeah, this combos really, really well, honestly. So this is like a really good detachment as well. So already we're up to like 3 out of 4 really good detachments in this codex. This one I played on stream. So this is the Poxbringer Terminest detachment. This one I played against Guard, and we did the -1 to shoot, -1 to hit aura with all the Poxes. So the tanks, if they didn't get the +1 to hit, they were -1 to hit. So the tanks were hitting on 5s, and there was just Poxes everywhere. Morty was like running around killing tanks. I think he killed like 7 tanks that game by himself. That's on the channel if you want to go check that out. It's a live stream game. But Numberless Horde, you get basically 30 extra Poxwalkers throughout the game. On turn 2, 3, and 4, they come in from reserves. So you get 10 extra Poxwalkers coming in from reserves. So this detachment's really good for secondaries. So anytime you just like have models coming in from the board to do actions, even if it's in your deployment zone or right outside your deployment zone for containment and engage and behind enemy lines, stuff like that, turn 3, 4, and 5, or sorry, 2, 3, and 4, boom, they just get to do an action as well. So, and their battle line, so you can bring technically 120 Poxes if you really, really wanted to, because now you can bring 6 units to 20, or just kind of like 6 units to 10. But yeah, there's a bunch of tests. Doesn't really kill anything unless it's Morty, but this is going to be fun to watch. It's fun to play. We're going to try and hone in on a list to see if it's actually competitive. I don't think it is competitive. I would rate this probably like a 4. I would probably rate this like a 4 or a 5. Yeah, this is probably a 4, even before we go over it, because I already played it. Noxus Blightbringer, so while a unit is leading a Pox, and the reason is because the Poxwalkers just die. Like 5-up Fail No Pain, they just die. They have a 7-up save. Add one of the objective control characteristic models in that unit, and each time a unit takes a battle shock or leadership test, add one of the tests. So they become leadership 5, because they're using his leadership, and then +1 of that test is leadership 5 for the Poxwalkers. So basically, OPSEC 2 Poxwalkers and leadership 5. So they're going to be really hard to steal an objective from. So this would be a good unit to kind of like just camp on a top objective or sit in the center and like kind of be annoying. You might be able to put this into this guy with Typhus's unit, because now Typhus and this guy are OPSEC 2, and Typhus is going to be able to bring Poxwalkers back. So it's just going to be super annoying to just rotate through this unit, being 2 OPSEC and +1 leadership the entire time. So I think that would be a good combo, is Typhus with the Noxus Blightbringer. The +1 speed as well. So speed 6, and then there's a strat to go speed 7. All right, now we have to test it out. So I got to put that guy with the other dude. All right. Then Death Guard model, player leading a Poxwalker unit. So it's only going to be the Malignant Plaguecaster, the Noxus Blightbringer, or Typhus. I think those are the only ones that can join Poxwalker units. Setting up on the battlefield, Trino's 3rd battle round. So basically, this detachment you can rapid turn 1, because and you can rapid in their deployment zone. So let's say they set up and they're not completely set up in their deployment zone. It could be like stepping zone or something crazy like that. On turn 1, you can, let's say they move up, they leave a little gap in their backfield. You just spend 1 CP and just rapid ingress your Malignant Plaguecaster with your 20 Poxes in your opponent's deployment zone. If you go first, you can do the same thing where you kind of like go first, move up, bring them on the table, as if it's turn 3 and do an action or kind of get near like their deployment zone. So this one I think will be really good just to have in your list because it also threatens them. It keeps them honest. It makes them not want to move or screen out, which could push them in a weird position where you can actually get a charge off on turn 1. So that actually is a really good attachment. These other two are also good. It's just like you're competing against this one. So this one is situational if you really want to bring a Noxus Blightbringer. You don't have to, but I did like that combo that I just said, making up for the first time in my head last time that we just went over this. I just thought about that honestly with this video. And then this one, you can also pair this with a Noxus Blightbringer with Typhus. So Typhus can rapid ingress turn 1. I did that. He watched the video. He sucked. He rolled a 1, a 2 for a charge into a 2. He rolled a 1 for his psychic test, did 3 mortal wounds to himself. He just died. It was bad. But again, so it was all tanks, but whatever. You could combo this with, another character like this or somebody else. They can combo 2 characters in the Poxwalker unit, and they can come in turn 1. So you can actually bring Typhus in rapid turn 1 with that. This one, William Playcaster only. The damage on his Flamer gets +1, so D3 +1 every single time. Every time he uses it, you kill D3 bodyguard unit, models. D3 bodyguard models from your bear's unit are destroyed. So I did. He shot 19 Poxwalkers turn 1. I think with no, I'm sorry. I used the one strat where I transfer the damage to them. So the damage transferred to that unit killed 19 of them. So I didn't want him to get Call the Horde from that unit because there was only one Poxwalker yet. So if he kills that one Poxwalker, it's 5 points. So I shot my Malignant Playcaster into a random tank just to kill that last model because it just says remove D3 bodyguard models. So I just killed the last model by myself, did some damage to the tank, but then I saved my Call the Horde target like super easily because he had out of line of sight shooting. So that was kind of like a pro play. If you have to do it, you got to do it. But yeah, we killed one last bodyguard unit with that. But yeah, +1 damage, like D3 +1 damage. I can kill Terminators pretty easily, or at least Marines. I can kill Marines 2 flat, but Terminators you can kill potentially with rolling a 3+. You kill Terminator. Talisman of Burgeoning. Death Guard model. While a bearer is leading a unit, add 1 of the toughness to Poxwalkers. So now you have T5 Poxwalkers. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, again, they just die. So toughness 5 with -1 to hit is going to be pretty annoying. It's not as annoying as with stealth and the -1 to wound, but still, toughness 5. So I think I would go this one, and this one after reading that. Potentially this one, but again, they just die. So you can put this on a 2-character unit if you want. Yeah, or you make the Poxwalkers with Typhus be toughness 5. So Typhus Poxwalkers can be toughness 5, so they're harder to kill, and then Typhus can bring them back. Yeah, so you're going to do this one for the OBSEC, 2 OBSEC, or the +1 toughness. So we got to test out to see which one is better. But yeah, that would probably be the combo there. Let's go over the strats. So Grip of the Walking Pox. Fight phase just after an enemy unit selecting its targets. 1 Poxwalker unit from your army. So it fought. Roll D6 destroyed model. So this one is every Poxwalker that died in the fight phase. You roll D6, and on a 6, they take a mortal wound back. And you get to bring Poxwalkers back to that unit. So this is pretty cool when it comes to like your 20 man going into your unit, killing some stuff, and then they fight back and just murder a bunch of them. Or they charge you. So let's say they charge you, they kill 15 of you guys. You roll 15 dice. Let's say you get like 3 to 4 6s. You then potentially, it says 1 mortal wound if the unit is not destroyed after the attacking unit is fought. Enemy models destroyed. Yeah, so if you killed like 2 Marines back, I mean, it's all situational. I don't rely on myself rolling 6s, but you can bring them back, and then they fight they can then bring some more back, and then Typhus goes if Typhus fights, and then he brings back. So it's just a super annoying trend of just bringing all these guys back for free, right? If this is in the unit that is a 2 OPSEC, you could just bring them back and put them on an objective to then just steal the objective back. So this is a really good combo with that. Single wound infantry, obviously, it's going to be way better with smeared with filth. Fight phase. 1 Poxwalker unit from your army just destroyed. When it made from the attacks until the end of the phase. Okay, so if you kill a Poxwalker unit, any unit, yeah, just destroyed. So one of those 10 mans that you brought in from reserves, if they die in the fight phase, 1 CP, that unit that killed him is afflicted for the rest of the game. So that could be situational as well. If they're far away or in their deployment zone, you can make them afflicted. So that could benefit somewhat. Gnawing Hunger. Your command phase, 1 Poxwalker unit, add one of the, this one's cool, add one of the move of the models in unit, add one of the attack and strength. So this works for the characters as well. So your Typhus now is speed 6 if they're with the malignant or the, what's his name, the Noxus Blightbringer. They're speed 7 Poxwalkers, speed 7 Typhus, +1 strength 10 Typhus, and I think 7 attacks. So Typhus is just gonna fucking wreck with this detachment. Yeah, and all the Poxwalkers get 60 attacks, 20 times 3, 60 attack if you get a full 20-man unit. God, that's deadly. Yeah, seems fun. And then Hidden Amongst the Dead. So this one's, the naming is cool. So this one is your Poxwalkers from reserve, non-character unit, keyword, not attached. So it can only be one of those 10 mans, or if you have a 20 man that doesn't have a character in it, which is not really good, they can just come down deep strike. So your reserve unit that you get for free, those 30 of them, you always have in your back pocket 1 CP deep strike. So that keeps people honest, right? It lets you go into the center to do like area denial or cleanse or something crazy, or block out. You know, you can screen with those 10 man units. You can do whatever you want with it, but you can spend that CP to deep strike them coming in from reserves. And it's your movement phase, so you can't rapid deep strike. But shock and horror. Your charge phase, Death Guard unit. Each time unit engagement range of must take a battle shock, subtracting 1 from the test. So your charge phase, just after a Death Guard unit from your army ends its charge move. So each time a unit within engagement range of your unit must take a, so each enemy unit within engagement range of your unit, oh shit, so this is multiple. Your charge phase just after a Death Guard unit from your army ends a charge move. So it's your charge phase, so you can't countercharge and do it. Yeah, I don't think you can countercharge in your opponent's charge phase, obviously. So if you move up, charge multiple everything. Battle shocks suck in your phase. So I mean, it's gonna be good if you just like don't want them to do a stratagem at -1. So that's pretty good. But battle shock at -1. This doesn't say Poxwalker, it just says Death Guard unit. So, okay, so this could be good. So if you bring a Death Shroud unit, that Death Shroud unit can charge in. They're already -1 with their icon, and then you add additional one, so it's -2 to their battle shock test. So now if you're charging like a big, scary Terminator brick, and you're like, all right, these 4 Death Shroud charge in, do leadership -2, they fail, now they can't do any strats. So you're going to kill like 4 to 6 Terminators on the clapback, maybe even more because you have the Lord Contagion, 3 damage. So yeah, that could actually be pretty good with the Death Shroud unit. Then we got Chamberlain. So this is good with Typhus, or sorry, any unit that you don't want to die. It's really good with Morty. So your opponent's shooting phase, just after the enemy selected targets 1 Death Guard unit, so Morty, from your army that's selected as a target 1 or more attacks, and 1 friendly Poxwalker unit within 3 inches and visible. So they have to be an eligible target, so they can't be in combat. They have to be visible and in range, because it says eligible down here somewhere. Each time you would allocate an attack to a model in your Death Guard unit, your Poxwalker unit is visible and attacking unit, eligible to target attack. No saving throw is made for that attack. So basically they have to hit Morty and wound Morty at his toughness 12, and if they do, let's say they hit him with the last cannon, they wound you, you don't roll save. You just go, all right, what's the damage? D6 plus 1, you roll 4, 5 damage, 5 poxwalkers die. But again, they still have to hit and wound Morty to then transfer the damage. So they have to go through 20 fucking damage to get to Morty, and then Morty can then start making his saves. But this is like almost an unkillable Morty for at least 2 to 3 turns if he has 20 poxwalkers around him at all times. So you have to make sure that they can see. So I did a little strategy with this. Morty moved over to the side of the table, killed a tank, and he was just kind of like by himself. So I had to save 2 CP so that way I could rapid a 20-man on his turn to get near Morty, right? Almost like surround Morty, so that way whoever shoots at Morty can see the poxwalkers. So then I can spend another CP to then transfer the shambling wall to the poxwalkers. So even though Morty's all by him fucking self by the corner of the board, he has all these tanks lining up that they can shoot him. I'm just going to rapid ingress the poxwalkers to deter the tanks from shooting Morty. So now if I rapid ingress, I can then spend ones at a CP to transfer anytime, just as your opponent's shooting phase, not at the start. You can tank a tank one of his tanks and be like, all right, I didn't take any damage, let me tank another one. All right, I took 5 damage, let me now transfer the wounds on the next tank, right? Shit like that. But that's a good combo that you can do with the shambling wall, and it doesn't have to work. It worked turn 1 against my spawn. So my spawn was on an objective. He got overwhelming force. So if he kills my spawn, he gets 3 points. I spent 1 CP, transferred those damage to a 20-man poxwalker unit. He did kill 19 boxes. So I did sacrifice 130 points to save 3 points, which I don't know if it was worth it. Probably not. But you can do that to try and stop points from either him stealing an objective, killing your models, or getting points like that. So this is a really, really strong strat. Like I said, I would rate this probably a 4 or 5. Once we run some more games, it might go up to a 6. I don't think it's super competitive, but again, I only have 1 game with it. I don't want to rank it as bad as people did Chaos Cult, because we saw what we did with Chaos Cult last year. I just don't think this is anywhere near as Chaos Cult. Like nowhere near as strong as Chaos Cult is. Like seeing it, like holy fuck, this could be really good. This is not Chaos Cult. That's why I'm ranking it as like a 4 or 5. Death Lord's Chosen. So this is the last attachment for the video. Stay tuned for the other one. If you guys want to head over to Patreon to support the channel, head over to patreon.com. So these videos come out for free or ahead of time for you guys, and you get to support us so we can do more cool videos like this and upgrade the stream setup that you've been seeing and do really cool images like that Death Guard one over there. So check out the link below for the t-shirts. The t-shirts are legit. We got Typhus on one of the t-shirts, so go check that out. And we got this icon too. Deadly Vectors. So in your command phase, this is the Terminus or Terminator one. Yes, cannot wait for this. I'm going to test this one third. I'm going to test 3 more coming up. So this one's going to be tested very soon. In your opponent's command phase, roll 2d6 for each. So this is going to happen really turn 2, 3, 4, 5. So turn 2, you're going to get a couple people in the contagion. Subtracting 1 from the result, the unit is below half strength. So it's going to be pretty hard to do. But if they're below half, not at half, below half, they take D3 mortals. If the result is 6 or less. So 6 or less, they take D3 mortals. And if they're below half strength, it's 7 or less. So it's just extra mortal wounds, potentially, doing chip damage all over the place, but it could be good for like, solo characters, stuff like that. Face of Death. So Terminator model only at the start of the fight phase, each enemy unit within engagement range of the bear's unit must take a battle shock test. This one was very situational for me. It's a Terminator. All these are Terminator models only, and this is at the start of the fight phase, each enemy unit within engagement range of the bear's unit. So if you have a 10-man Blight Lord or 6-man Death Shroud and they charge into multiple units at the beginning of the fight phase, if they charge you, which is good too, they have to take a battle shock test. That's it. That's why it's very situational. So I don't think this is going to be super needed in this attachment. Then we have this one. While the bearer is leading a unit, add one of the movement characteristics of Speed 6 Terminators. of the models in the unit, and you can re-roll advance. So this could be good for, I was thinking the Blight Lords, but could also be good for Death Shroud, just because Death Shroud then can come down within 6, get a free reroll, and once they murder whatever the fuck they want, their speed 6. All the bears leading, yeah. So if the Lord of Contagion dies and then gets back up, he's not speed 6 anymore because he's not leading a unit. But still, it's good for like getting that free reroll built in, or you just put it on the Blight Lord so that way they can just get always speed 6, so they can move speed 6, get the free charging off, stuff like that. This one, once per battle at the end of your opponent's turn, if the bearer's unit is not with this one's, also it's uppy downy. This is gonna be great for the fucking Death Shroud. Like, this is a Lord of Contagion strat all day. I mean, I could see this on a Lord of Virulence, so that way the Lord of Virulence comes down, shoots something, you know, ton of shots into it, and then if they don't get charged, they can just go back up into reserves, come back down, do it again. But if you're thinking about the Death Shroud, they're going to be able to come down, just charge something 6 inches away, murder it to oblivion, sorry, and then go back up in reserves and just do it again. So once per game, they get to deep strike twice and get that 6-inch charge. And they could rapid, maybe. End of your opponent's turn. No. So end of your opponent's turn, they go back up, and then your turn, they come back down. But they could rapid. So if you go back at the end of your opponent's turn, once per turn at the end of your opponent's turn. So you could actually do this turn 1 if you really wanted to. I wouldn't do it turn 1. I wouldn't waste it. But you could. You have a 6-inch Terminator starting on the table. And if you go second, and if your opponent's turn, they go up. And on turn 1, come down, murder. I wouldn't do it though. I would save it. So you rapid ingress turn 2. Honestly, you don't even have to rapid ingress. You could just come down, charge, kill something. They're probably not going to charge you back. Hopefully you're defensive in a safe position. Go back up, do it again. So, and then Helm of the Fly King. So terminating model only while bearer is leading a model in the unit cannot be targeted with range attacks. Oh, okay, it's a lone op. So this would be good for the Lord of Contagion. So Lord of Contagion having a lone op on their fucking 10-man Death Shroud, like you're gonna come down defensive, shoot probably from afar, do a bunch of blast weapons, shoot them, and then you're safe on a point, right? So then you can't be shot outside 18 inches. If they come near you, you then move up and just murder them. So yeah, +1 reroll charges. So these 3 are probably gonna be your best ones. The Battle Shock, very situational, but it's you or their fight phase. And if it's the Death Shroud, they're actually -1 as well. So this could be good for extra points if you really want to force Battle Shocks. But again, it's very situational. I'd rather have the uppy downy, the +1 move, and the lone up. So lone up on Terminators is really, really good. Let's get over the strats. Blooming Pestilence. So Blooming Pestilence, we got 1 Terminator from here until the end of phase. Add 3 to the Contagion range to models. So start of any phase, you can add 3 to the Contagion range of your unit. So you can come down outside 9, add 3, and then a Death Shroud can come down 6. I think that might be how it is. 1 Terminator unit from your army. Yeah, but I mean, it says until the end of the phase. So probably not really worth it there, but it's gonna be good for like shooting and stuff like that. So start of any phase. Grim Reapers, so fight phase, they're all 1 CP strats, which is good. 1 Terminator unit. Oh, and the fucking the Demon Prince, everything within 6 has cover, so you're gonna have like a bunch of Terminators in cover within 6 inches with a free strat, and he's got lone up. So yeah, the Demon Prince with the Terminator is going to be really, really strong in this detachment. Fight fit, and you could have a Lord of Pox with just built-in lone op. So a ton of lone op in this detachment. 1 Terminator unit from your army does not select to fight until the end of the phase. Each time a model in the unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit, excluding monsters' vehicles, you can reroll the hit roll. So full rerolls to hit for your Terminator brick in the fight phase. Just not against monster vehicles. Still, 1 CP, full rerolls to hit, all lethals. It's kind of good. fuck, just built-in reroll. No cat. And all these strats, I look at this and I'm like, why the hell are Night Lords so bad? Like, why are they so bad? Why does Night Lords not have full rerolls to hit, and if you're battle shocked, +1 AP? Like, that should be an easy Night Lord strat. But no, Death Guard get it. Undying Spite. So fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. One time a unit from your army that selected its targets one or more of the attacking units. To the unit phase, fight on death on a 4-up. Nice. Custodes get a character on a 2+. Gets the fight on death. They get a fight on death on a 4+, and then if it's a character, they get a 2+ fight on death. So characters leading units 4-up and then 2-up, which is cool. That would have been great here if they added that. But still, 4-up fight on death on your Terminator brick, really good. So, and you have to look out for the wording, because if you look at the wording and it doesn't say like if they haven't fought yet, then they get to fight twice. This one says if they fought though. So until the end of the unit, each time model unit was destroyed, if that model has not fought this phase. So if that wasn't there, you would be able to do it twice. But ignore I said that because it doesn't matter. Signal Pox. So your command phase, one Lord of Virulence model from your army. Select an objective marker. So you're already selecting a unit 30 inches away. Now you also get to select an objective marker that is visible to model at the start of until you're starting your next turn. While an enemy unit is within range of an objective marker, that unit is afflicted. So basically, target an objective marker, and while an enemy unit is within range of that objective marker. So anybody that on that objective is now -1 OC, -1 toughness, -1 or +1 of their -1 of their save, right? So you're just like targeting them and be like, all right, those units, those models over there are all effed, right? So that my Blight Lord's coming down, if they shoot an afflicted, oh god, that's such a good combo. They basically come down. It's your command phase. All right, so Lord of Virulence has to be on the table to do this. So Lord of Virulence moves up, I guess. There's no assault in this one, right? No, so this could probably be the one that has the lone op, right? So they're lone op, so if they move up, target an objective, everything on that objective is afflicted, and now if you shoot at them that are afflicted, they get +1 strength and +1 AP. Oh shit, AP2. Oh shit. AP2 combi bolters, full rerolls to wound. Nice. All right, so in this that unit, you're probably not going to have the flails. Honestly, you're probably going to have more combi bolters. You're going to have 2 of the long range, so 2 of the Reaper autocannons, 2 of the Blight launchers, maybe 2 flamers. I know they're only range 12, and then the rest combi bolters, or all combi bolters. You probably have the flamers because you're going to eventually get close. So yeah, 2 of everything, and then you're going to be able to full rerolls to hit on the Blight launchers. And the full rerolls to wound on your entire thing. Pretty good. Or you'd save 2 CP and just get assault. So in your shooting phase, you gain heavy. So if you don't move, you hit on 2s for everything, or you get to advance and shoot with all of your weapons. So 1 CP, target something that's not within contagion range. Now they're in contagion range. Or you could just spend 1 CP, assault, can't charge, which sucks, but assault, and then get all of your weapons in range with full rerolls to wound against that unit. So your charge phase, just after a terminating unit from your army ends a charge move, select one enemy unit within engage range of your unit, roll a d6 for each model in your unit that is within engage range of that enemy unit. On a 2+, holy shit, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So basically like a free grenade if you can get 6 Terminators into engage range. So this is going to be really good. We don't have a fallback in charge strat. So this is really only going to be you charging in. So if you get like a 6-man Death Shroud unit 6 inches away, charging in, now you pick a unit, so select one enemy unit. So even though you combi charge into multiple units, you can only select 1 unit, and you count how many units or how many models are in engage range of that unit. And engage range is still only 1 inch or base to base. It's not base to base of base to base. That's second rank. So engage range is only within 1 inch or fewer of that model. So you can't go like 3 base to base and then 3 behind those guys base to base of your guys base to base. You have to be within 1 inch engagement range to then work that strat. Make sure that nobody's doing that against you for other strats, stuff like that. Anytime somebody has a mortal wound strat on the charge, make sure you're reading it. If it's every model's engagement range, or you count every model in the unit that made the charge, because there's two different wording of these strats. This one is every model that's in engagement range of that unit, you roll then a dice. So it's going to be good for Lord of Contagion, charging with 6 Death Shroud, so that way you can get at least hopefully 4 to 6 models in engagement range on the charge, and then you roll d6 on a 2+, take 2 more. So it's basically a free, holy fuck. So basically you can come down within 6, throw a grenade with the Lord of Contagion, charge in, do more mortals, and just do a shit ton of mortal wounds. And it's anybody. Yeah, you can do it on tanks. So you come down, chuck a grenade, charge, do more mortals, so you can do potentially 12 mortal wounds before you even get to attack this this target. Guaranteed like 4 to 6, right, from this one, and then on a 4+ with the grenade you do more. That's such a good combo. I mean, one of them free because of the Demon Prince, right? Free strat. Yeah, all these being one is great. Demon Prince is going to be awesome, and then the Terminators are going to be really, really good. So Fight on Death. Yeah, this one's going to be an 8, guys. This one is really, really good for Terminators. You might be able to run an MSU Terminator list. I was trying to test like the MSU in that, but yeah, that's going to be it. We're going to call it here. I'm going to do a second portion of this on the Patreon page. So we're going to go over some quick lists on the Patreons. So that way they get, a little bit of a bonus with this at the same time. So if you guys are Patreons, head over to Patreon. You get to go to the end of the video where we are right now. And then I'll go over some lists that I've been thinking about for the Death Guard. So that way you guys can kind of like jot them down, tweak them your own way, and then kind of play them in the upcoming games. But there's a lot of games coming up on in this year, closing out. I mean, we're really just starting. Like the GTs are really just starting this year already. But there's gonna be a lot of Death Guard coming up on the channel. So if you guys are Death Guard, make sure you share with all your Death Guard buddies. Share with the Facebook pages. I really appreciate it. Head over to patreon.com if you want to check out the end of this video and support the channel with all the merch and all the coaching and all that stuff. So guys, I appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll catch you on the Patreon page soon. What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation over at patreon.com, you get a bunch of perks. What we did in 2024 was we really expanded. I had traveled a ton and I played my ass off in 40k. Right now we're ranked #1 best player in the United States on ITC rankings. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world this year in 2024. 2 years ago, we got ranked #1 Grey Knight player in the world, and this year we're probably going to go into Death Guard, hopefully when the new Codex comes out, or Emperor's Children. But you guys, if you guys want that head coach or that coach always in your corner, just to ask questions, bounce ideas off, that's what the competitive Dirtbag and the Dirtbag Nation is all about. If you guys want to support the channel, you head over to patreon.com. You can join the Just a Car tab, which is $5 a month. You guys get access to the Discord Patreon tab. You have to be a patron to get into that Discord, and also I'm always there. All the other coaches are there. Basically, it's just such a good community over on Discord that you guys get specific access to it that only Patreons can get. If you guys want to bump that up, the competitive Dirtbag tier, you guys get to message me or another Grandmaster or another Dirtbag coach over the Dirtbag Nation to add unlimited questions, list ideas, list reviews, and bounce ideas off of. That's what having a coach in your corner is all about. If you guys want to bump up to the Grandmaster tier, that tier you get every perk under the sun. So basically you get access to Discord, you get one-on-one coaching, you get a call once a month if you guys would like to go over any RTTs coming up, any GTs coming up, any list reviews live over Discord chat, and also a special perk that Grandmasters get. If you guys want any video suggestions like we do all the time with these table setups that we just upgraded thanks to the Patreons, you guys get suggestions or battle reports you want to see specifically played live by a coach or myself on the next battle report, or a live battle report coming up on the Patreon. So you guys get obviously first access to all the videos. We post them first on patreon.com, but there's just a ton of benefits to having a professional coach that plays this game all the time at the very, very high competitive level in your corner at all times. And that's really what the Dirtbag Nation is all about, getting you guys better at 40K, the basics, and being good in your community. So if you guys want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys in 2024, 2025. I am super stoked for, super excited for. We really want to get a bigger studio going. that is going to be my focus in 2025, is really growing the community on YouTube and Patreon specifically. So thank you so much for 2024, all my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining and want that coach in your corner, head over to patreon.com and support the channel. Appreciate it.